Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando and sponsored by WCBE 90.5 FM. Read reviews and listen to shows on WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Kevin Carr.
And this is Cinema Classics. And boy, we ought to be looking at the Oscars where this is it. I'm not doing anything more on Oscars.
Yes,
this is
the cap on award season.
Right. So we'll have a little bit of a look back, but but your perception will be not like anybody else's. So Kevin, the Oscars. Let me ask you this: Did everything, everywhere, all at once deserve it?
I think so. I absolutely think so. I mean, here's the thing, as that movie just is, it came out early in the year last year, and it did way better than I would have expected it to. It made like $70-some million in the States, which is a huge amount for a dinky little bizarre, strange movie like this. And then it went on and had momentum throughout the year and continued. I think that's what really helped, and in fact it gained momentum. When you look at something like, if you talk about the awards, Cate Blanchett was the odds-on favorite to win for Tar, and Michelle Yeoh kind of, not that she didn't come out of nowhere, because she was literally everywhere, but she had started to pick up these Best Actress awards in other places, and people are like, well, she might have actually been able to do it. And then did it win? Was there anything it was nominated that it didn't win for? Maybe soundtrack or something. I don't know. I can't remember what.
It won 7, I think, or something.
It won all of the big ones. The only thing it didn't win of that sort of big 6 was Best Actor, because that went to Brendan Fraser for The Whale, which he absolutely deserved.
Yeah.
But no one was nominated as Best Actor from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
No, you're right. He had some good competition for Fraser, but he just, I just think we knew that he was going to, at least we had put our money on it.
Well, what's funny is The Whale is such a divisive film, and there are some people who just hate it. I mean, they really do. But everyone will agree he's great in it.
Yes.
And the reason I think it's so important that he won that is because people say, oh, he just had a fat suit on. And I'm like, he acted through that fat suit.
All they need to do is look at Tom Hanks try to work with a fat.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you're talking about Elvis?
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I thought it was distracting for him.
Yeah.
For Fraser, I just wasn't even concerned about the fat.
I mean, it's really, the Colonel Parker character is such a caricature anyways, which is, and also a big diversion from what Tom Hanks usually does.
Yes.
But yeah, Brendan Fraser, his eyes, that's the movie, is his eyes.
Well, if you look at Best Pictures, Kevin, does it stack up against, I got a load of them here in a list, to see if it stacks up against, just generally speaking, Oscars in general. Is it, where does it stand? Is it great? Is it something that we're going to go back to? Or is it because it's such a dominant Asian influence that, I'm trying to figure out, because I liked it much, but I'm not sure it has the gravity of other films that have won.
Well, I think you have to look at it there are these separation points during the Oscars. I mean, historically. And I think when they started going to 10 nominees, that's kind of a separation point.
Okay.
When they started to really, about 10 years ago, when they were really starting to try and be a little more inclusive and introducing more people into the Academy, you had a lot fewer older, stuffy veterans of the film industry voting.
Right.
And that's how you end up with stuff like Parasite winning. Because Parasite won a couple years ago.
Yes, right, yeah.
That would never have won 30 years ago.
Yeah, okay, and I was going to point that out. That was 2019 that it won.
Yeah.
That was a surprise.
It was a surprise that it won.
Yeah.
It was kind of that, this one might actually do it. It was kind of like Everything Everywhere All at Once, picking up a lot of awards. But it was a bit of a surprise that thing won Best Picture. And even if you look at some other movies that won Best Picture, even last year, like Coda, that would not have won 30 years ago or longer. I think it's indicative of the new Academy, which is just going to become more like this because you no longer have, sort of old school Hollywood running the show because, there's just time passes.
And you get ones like Green Book, which I could never understand.
I liked Green Book.
Yeah, I know.
Best Picture, I don't know, but I thought it was a really good movie.
Yeah, but getting Best Picture. Wow, I was
Yeah.
surprised. And Argo.
Yeah, that one was, again, kind of a surprise.
I know.
That it got. I loved Argo. It was one of my favorite movies of that year. But I mean, even stuff like Nomadland. I think Nomadland is if you want to talk about the forgotten one, I think Nomadland's gonna just. I mean, it's a good movie, but I think it's gonna just disappear.
Yes, yeah.
And that's more a lack of competition because it was right during COVID and they hadn't released much at all.
Well, and we can always say that Citizen Kane didn't win.
Yeah. Oh, there's loads of movies that didn't win. That
Well,
are,
it sticks in
everything
my
from
mind.
Gone with the Wind to Star Wars to you talk about movies that live.
So Gone with the Wind didn't win 39?
Oh wait, did it?
It did, I think.
Oh, it did win.
Yeah.
No, I think Wizard of Oz. Wizard of
Yes,
Oz
right,
lost
right.
Gone with the Wind. That's what it was. That's
Oh,
my.
what a year.
Yeah.
39.
But you had to choose between one. And so you're right. Yeah, Gone with the Wind did win. My apology.
That's all right, no.
That one wrong.
Anyway, so, and so we're looking at those two. I think we're pretty satisfied with that. But how about this Best Actress with Michelle Yeoh? Here she is, right here.
Oh yeah, she's fantastic.
Now, when I saw this on the front of People magazine last week, and I had told our old channel, ABC 6,
Yeah,
that I was gonna go with Kate Blanchett,
yeah.
so I surprised
Well, that's you.
I know, I surprised Maria. And as they threw it up on the screen behind me, I said, no, I've changed my mind.
Mm.
I said, the karma for Michelle Yeoh
No, yeah.
is incredible.
Well, it helps. Well, here's the thing, and this is why, as much as I loathe the movie Tar, I hated Tar,
Right.
but I would have been supportive of Kate Blanchett winning. I thought she gave her the
Yes,
role, and it was a
yes.
very complex role for her. Same thing for Michelle Yeoh. You cannot objectively look at, even if you don't like Everything Everywhere All at Once, I don't think you could objectively look at that movie and say she didn't deserve it. I mean, she acts her guts out of it.
Yeah, and she's both, what, cognitively and physically, she's she's quite a star in this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm still just a little bit disappointed because my favorite is Andrea Riseborough in To
Well,
Leslie.
I think the fact she got nominated,
I know.
that's the one that she's the one person that's like, well, I wasn't gonna win, but it's an honor to be nominated. Hey, my movie made a lot more money now. Yeah.
I mean, Kate Blanchett was just precisely an actress, a winning actress. Andrea Riseborough, I thought, just was one of the best performances I've seen in years.
Yeah.
But Michelle Yeoh, front of People magazine, and as you would say, multifaceted performance in that. Yes, I'm with you. You convinced me. I'm ready. All right, so. And there's others that I'm interested in having you weigh in on, Kev.
Yeah.
How about the Best Director? We got.
I was surprised that the Daniels won.
Yeah.
I really thought, and it has nothing against the Daniels, because I like their stuff. I mean, I liked Everything Everywhere All at Once, but my favorite movie of theirs is Swiss Army Man.
Oh gosh, yes. Talk
And
about eccentric.
I would have loved to have seen the farting Harry Potter movie win for best anything, but it didn't make it. So I was very happy for them. And once again, I think that shows a looking ahead towards Hollywood future than looking behind towards Hollywood future. Because as much as I grew up with Spielberg, and I thought that they really wanted to give it to Spielberg.
I did too.
But he's got a couple Oscars on his mantle already, so.
Well, there was that argument too with Blanchett.
Yeah, and also I think people will still say, oh, we're going to give it to this person for legacy. I think people have won for that in the past, for sure. Or because they should.
Jamie Lee Curtis?
I don't think she won for legacy. I mean,
look at you. Do you think it was a great performance?
I thought she did a great job. I think she did a great job. I don't think she won for legacy because I don't think people are going to be like, we're voting for the Halloween actress from Freaky Friday. And
I mean for her parents and all that royalty, Hollywood royalty.
Well, you know what's funny? You get to that whole Nepo baby argument.
Right.
I don't think Jamie Lee Curtis falls in that because I still think she came up through the ranks. I mean, she was starring in crappy
Halloween
little.
first, I think.
Well, yeah, and just a bunch of like crummy horror movies. It's not like there's a big difference between her and like Lily Rose Depp, who has no business being in the industry without her parents involvement. In either career, whether it's acting or modeling.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis, I think, she may have gotten the auditions and at least been plugged into the industry. I think to a degree, Gwyneth Paltrow, even though at the beginning she was kind of a Nepo baby, but she forged her own career.
She made her own, yes, she did. Yeah.
It's the people who are just like, every time they're casting something, people know, like Colin Hanks. I mean, I don't have anything against him, but I don't think he gets any job without being Tom Hanks. Because every time you see him, I go, oh, that's Tom Hanks' son.
I know.
Or Kiefer Sutherland, I think, has diversified himself.
Yes,
to
he
people.
has.
It's when you forget, because you have to be reminded Jamie Lee Curtis is Tony Curtis and Janice.
All right, Kevin Carr.
Yeah.
Usually I ask, what is your advice? Let me just have you close us out with your overview of the ceremony itself.
Well, there are no slaps, there are no streakers, and every name was announced properly. So it went without a hitch. It's still like the ratings are way low compared to where they're like even 5 years ago. But I think that's just because getting people to watch a network television 3.5 hour award show is tougher and tougher every year.
So it's a classy, kind of traditional ceremony.
Yeah, there were some goofy things thanks to Jimmy Kimmel and Hugh Grant and stuff like that. But I mean, overall, I thought it was it was what an Oscar should be, but you're never going to get 40 million viewers every